Hello friends, my name is Theo, and today in this exciting Masonry Media tutorial, we're going to be taking a look at the differences between the primaries and log grading wheels inside of Davinci Resolve. It's a very important thing to know about, and something that a lot of people don't know about. So, inside of Resolve, you see I've got this just simple grayscale gradient, and we've got our scopes up. So you can see our waveform goes from 0 on the left side, where absolute black is, and 1024, because it's the 10-bit ramp, and 10-bit scopes, etc., etc., 10-bit monitor, but it can be whatever. So you see we've got this linear straight line, so we can see exactly where our adjustments are happening. So starting in our primaries wheel, we'll start at the lift, and you can see this lifts our shadows up, and you see it affects the whole entire curve. So these ones are really great for whenever you're making just big sort of exposure adjustments. That's what I use them for. So you see lift, takes the end and just moves it right around. And then our gain does the same thing, but up at the top. So it moves the top, highlights up and down. And it affects the whole entire spectrum of what we're working with. And then the gamma, you can see, leaves our white and black point where they are, but it changes the contrast of the middle. You can see bringing it up, this sort of curve, you can see the effect over here. And bringing it down, does that sort of guy. So you can see if we move over to an actual clip, so you've got our waveform here, and say we'll bring our gain down, you can see it also brings our shadows down a little bit, and our gamma, our midtones. And then same thing with, if we have our lift, bring that down, and then boom, we hit our black point there. Wow, it stretches the entire image down. And then you can see our absolute black and absolute white stay the same. You can see stuff is moving around because, where things are. But whenever you get stuff locked there, not that you should have stuff locked there, but that's a different tutorial. So you're just moving around the middle of the image. So these are really handy when if you need to get an exposure happening really fast. So you can see just bop, 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 twist things around and you're there. Now, the log corrections, on the other hand, those are used for the same sort of thing, but they just have one extra level of control on them. So if we hop over to our log section here, so you've got shadow, midtones, and highlights instead of lift, gamma, gain. But you can see whenever we start adjusting our shadows here, we have this little knee point here where it's not affecting any of the image above that. It's just affecting our shadows. It's right there. And the same thing happens for the highlight. See, we've got a little point right there, and then our midtones can adjust, and it happens in between those 2 points. Now this is really powerful for all sorts of stuff, and then the best part is you can move those points around. So you see you have this high range and low range control. If you're not seeing this, make sure that you're in the number 1 section down here. So the high range will adjust our sort of threshold point for our highlight correction. Bring that up and down, and you can see the corresponding change over in our waveform and over in our viewer. And we've got the same thing with our low range for the shadows. And then our midtone always stays in between those 2 points, which is pretty sweet. Now I like using the log controls for doing more looky type stuff. So you see I'll do this for the typical orange teal thing all the time. So we move our midtones down, and you can see it's just happening in this little part of the image here, where if we were to do this with our primaries wheels, add new node and disable that one, you can see it affects the entire image, the entire thing. So it's better to do it in the log window because we just get this little point and then we can move it. We'll typically want our shadows to be in this area here, so we can bring our low range down. We'll say there-ish. And this is obviously way too much blue, and we'll bring our high range down a little bit. And I'll just go ahead and reset this and make it a little more palatable. And maybe even want it to go a little bit lower. And that's looking pretty good. And then you can also, of course, layer these on top of each other, either with a parallel or a serial mixer node. I'm going to do a serial, just because why the heck not. And now you do the same sort of thing. You move your midtones where you want them to be, and then you can change your high range. You say you want it to stop around there. Start around there-ish. Move this to a little nicer color. There you get your typical orange teal gradient. It's not really happening. There it is. And now once again, if you were to try to do the same sort of thing with the primaries correction, add another one, and see it ends up basically canceling itself out because it's just happening in that same spot there. So now the question is, this looks great on a color ramp with some scopes, but when do you use them in the real world? So let's hop over to a little clip. Got this guy, we'll reset it. Cool. There's some transforms happening we won't worry about. We'll just really quickly drop one of these guys on here. Cool. So you see the first thing that we need to do with this image is we need to get our sort of general exposure happening. So we're going to start off in our primaries wheels, and we're going to bring our lift down. And you can look at your scopes if you want to, but it's really better to look at the monitor and see what's happening. To bring that to about where we want it, bring our whites to about where we want them, our gamma about where we want that. Just mess around, and you see, since this affects the whole image, it makes it really fast to do these adjustments. And then whenever you want to add a little bit of your look to it, we can hop over and drop some log corrections in there and do just like we did before with the little orange teal thing. Drop that in there, bring our low range down. So just getting some blue in the pants and the shadows, and nice. And it's a very warm image already, so don't really need to add any warmth to it at all. You see, just like that, we have this really nice subtle correction down at the bottom, and we have our big exposure correction at the top. And if we wanted to make it a little bit cooler, we could always just go back to our primaries and get cooler there. And nice. Just like that, super easy. The basics of when you use primary wheels, when you use log wheels, knowing this is a big important thing that is, a big part of getting the look that you want, knowing the difference between these two things. And then of course, if you want the most control, then you go over to the curve section, and then you can, obviously tweak every little bit as much as you want and do all your things. And curves isn't perfect. There are some better things that could happen with them, but for now, they're pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Hope it helped out. Hope it cleared some things up. Hope that you can go out into the real world and know exactly which tool to use for which thing. A little bit of workflow stuff. If you like this video, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. No matter what, leave your feelings down in the comments below. What sort of other stuff do you want to see? What sort of stuff do you not want to see? What's your favorite breakfast cereal? Also, be sure to go to meisnermedia.com/products, where we have all sorts of good stuff. You can get some good lookup tables there if you are into that sort of thing. I've been using the Swiss LUTs on a current project, just like way too much. I show off cool shadows way too much. What else should I do? Let's do one of these Philips. Philip 04. Nice. Sounds a bit much for this one. That's pretty music video-y. Let me just bring that gain down. And nice. There you go. Got a cool little high contrast look there with some really nice meaty skin tones. We've also got some other stuff on meisnermedia.com/products. Check it out. I'm not even going to tell you what they are. Go be surprised. Give me your clicks. So once again, I'm Theo with Meisner Media. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.